Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us in tonight's session. My name is Richard Wright, and I'll be the facilitator to this evening. I'm actually from the Academic Development Open Virtual Hub. That's ADOVH. So you might see quite a lot of communication coming from us. And we are currently working on the Student Digital Resilience Program. That's actually the last year that the program is running. And this is the program basically focuses on giving you the digital skills to make you resilient in terms of adapting to change. And you probably over the last 3 years have seen most of the change coming, with things coming up with AI, things that was never possible for. And how do you quickly adjust to it, make use of it, so that you still have the upper edge so in your studies and also when you enter the workplace. But first, I'm going to hand over to our project manager, our leader, Dr. Chetty, to also welcome you for this session.
Thank you so much, Richard. Very good evening to all our students that are joining us this evening. I hope you are well wherever you are. And I just want to welcome you officially to the start of this particular exciting AI workshop. This is one of our AI masterclasses that we run, and I know that it's an exciting session. Just a few introductory comments. As you know, artificial intelligence is not only transforming the education space where we are looking at how artificial intelligence can transform how we teach, how we learn, how we study, but it's also transforming certain elements of industry as well. So as we look at artificial intelligence, it's also a matter of what skills can you look at, or what skills can you gain out of these sessions that you can implement in your own studies, in your own learning, but also, and I want to encourage you this, is to think about that post qualification. If you start developing your skills in artificial intelligence now, by the time you leave in the next 2 to 3 years, you would be highly equipped for industry, for employment, and that makes you one of the leading people in terms of employment strategy. Now, this particular AI element in which Richard is going to showcase and teach you on how to build AI agents for personalized learning is something that we also teach to academics within the university as well. So you are really getting information, course content that you can utilize in your own learning experiences. Now, as you know, artificial intelligence is really challenging us in terms of the education. But what it's actually doing is pushing us to think outside of the box. How can you as a student, and this is what I want you to think about as you start engaging this, how can you use a tool such as an AI agent? And I'm not talking about copying and pasting, not using AI as a Google search engine, finding an answer to your assignment and then copying and pasting that into your assignments. That's not what we're teaching you here. We're teaching you core skills to better integrate AI in your learning experiences, skills to better advance the way you engage with your content, the way you engage with your study materials. And we want you to master these skills. And the idea behind mastering these skills is that you apply these skills. As you can see from the slide itself, one of the key elements for us is to build student digital resilience. What does it mean to build student digital resilience? It means that you need to be adaptable. You need to apply the type of skills that you have. You need to be agile. You need to be flexible. These are not just fourth industrial revolution skills, but these are also fifth industrial revolution skills. So part of these courses that we are implementing, which is DED, which is funded by the Department of Higher Education and Training, the University Capacity Development Program, is for you to start thinking about how can you leverage these skills as a student. I must actually say, compared to many other universities, residential universities, you are actually getting really good information in terms of how these tools can help you in terms of help you within your learning space, but more specifically to advance your learning. So I would encourage you as you start this course, think about two things. One, how you can enhance your learning. Two, how can you take these skills post qualification, post studying, or even outside of your studying environment into the broader society, into the broader economic sector as well. And if you can leverage this particular tool, I can guarantee you'll be on great demand, not just in the university, but great demand even in your if you want to open up a little business for yourself and start teaching this as well. So these are core entrepreneurship skills as well. And I know Richard has put in exceptional work in this course. I've seen him facilitate this several times. And I know that the content is actually good. So I wish you all the best. And I think in addition to really getting the core skills, really getting practical hands-on with this, also enjoy this because it's a new phase, it's a new experience. So enjoy the experience as you are building and engaging with this. With that said, very good evening to each one of you. Enjoy the session. Take full advantage of it. And Richard, David, and Landua, all the best for the session as well. Thanks, colleagues.
Thank you, Dr. Chetty. And then we also have Mr. Hopperstad. He's in the chats helping you out. I'm just quickly going to let him also just welcome you.
Good evening, everyone. Just to make sure you know that you're not talking to a robot. Richard, you must switch on your camera so people must see we human beings still. So welcome, guys. We're going to have a fun session tonight. Thanks, Richard.
Who says I'm still a human being? So guys, so we've got quite a big session this evening. We're going to be focusing on a little bit more on the agent side, especially how you can create your own personalized learning agent. But through this, we'll take you through, I'm going to say, all the basic information that you need as well, just in case this is your first time attending one of our workshops. So this course is designed specifically for you as ODEL learners. We all know what it is studying alone. You don't always have that support readily available, or the fellow student to bounce off ideas or speak to a tutor. So that's why we really want you to focus during this almost as creating a personalized tutor for yourself. For this, you don't need any technical background. This is up to anybody. We take you from the basic steps until you, can master this. So you'll gain a good understanding of generative AI, especially large language models, skills to write effective AI prompts, and then finally to build your AI tutor agent. Now, if you are able to, I really advise you to work along, jump between the course platform and this workshop. It's, that you can actually work through the content as we go along. But if you can't, use this as an information session and then afterwards go complete the activities. Because remember, AI is definitely a skill. It's almost like riding a bicycle. It's something that you have to practice. It's not something that you're going to quickly read up about and then know exactly what to do. It's something that you have to practice until it works for you. Because remember, if it works for somebody, some way of doing it, it might not give you the best results for your use case. Now, firstly, let's get you onto the course site. So if you can scan the QR code. Otherwise, you can visit adovh.unisa.ac.za, and you need to click on the STU, or the name is actually now changed. We'll update that. So it will be actually CCA, and it will be then 051. So CCA stands for co-curricular activity. So this is an official co-curricular activity. So this will form part of your report card. And at the end, we'll show you how you can access that report card as well. But let me quickly show as well on my screen. So open up this one. So if you're going to look for the page, you can just search for My Student Skills Hub as well. So you can just type in My Student Skills Hub, one word, UNISA, and it will also take you to the correct page. Now, on this page, I'll post a link as well to the course now. You can scroll down until you find this one, African AI Masterclass 2. So there is a previous one. This is the follow-up on that one, but we do cover the basics of the first one so that you can get started with the second one very quickly. So in the chat, I will post the link to the course so that you can just click on it if you can. I saw some of you mention perhaps sound problems. If you have some problems or the video is not appearing, please watch on YouTube. That's why we stream to YouTube as well, just to make sure that if you have any technical difficulties with Microsoft Teams, there is also the secondary option available to you. So firstly, you'll be on this page over here. Let me turn up the volume here a bit. So this is the welcome page. And at the bottom, you can meet Luwazi already. So for you that don't know, Luwazi is our humanoid robot that we have at UNISA that's been all over the country and it's currently also AI. So this is the same personality that you have on here when you're going to interact with Lawazzi. It's the same one that the actual robot also uses. So I hope one day you can come to one of our sessions, our live workshops, where you can meet Lawazzi. So there are 4 units in this one. I just saw your question quickly. Okay, M. Arendt, so you don't necessarily need to do the first one before doing the second one, but it will benefit you. The first one will give you a very good understanding of ethical use of AI, especially in the education atmosphere. It will also give you, it focuses a lot on prompting and context. So you can definitely you do that one even after this. It is worth doing it as well. It really, how can I say, makes the foundation for this one. But during this one, you won't be lost as we go along. It will even strengthen if you go back to the other one on where does it fit in. So yes, you can start with STU 110 and then progress to STU 111. But remember, we're doing STU 111 this evening, so the Masterclass 2. So the screen that you should be on, let me quickly show you, should be, you should be seeing this one. It's got more, I'm going to say purple colors. So you should not be on, let me just go back here. So the other one will be STU 110. That was the first one from last year, is the blue color. So just remember, we are currently going to work on this one. So it's currently renamed to CCA 051. So the link is in the chat. I'll post it again so you can just click on it directly so we know we're all at the correct place. I see there was a different question. Is this optional? So yes, everything is optional on the My Module African on My Student Skills Hub. These what we call are co-curricular activities. So it actually helps you out with your studies. But for the official co-curricular activities, you actually do get a report card. So it is worth doing that. You can build up your CV as quick as possible. And it's really skills that's going to help you with your studies. But yes, don't feel pressurized to do them. They are optional and it's there for your benefit. So as I mentioned, this is broken down into 4 modules. We first have a look at generative AI for learning and productivity. That builds, just a big bit of a background where we are currently. A little bit of prompt engineering for those that missed the first one. Just what is prompt engineering? How is it used? And then understanding AI agents. What are agents? What are they different from normal general AI that you've been using? And then lastly, we work on creating your own personalized agent towards the end. So yes, if you're going to do this in person, it will probably take you 4 hours. It will probably still take you 4 hours, even if you do the workshop, because remember, you want to go back and practice. We do offer this face-to-face, live online, as we currently are, but you can always do this self-paced as well on My Student Skills Hub. So it depends on your learning preference. Obviously, we do give a lot of good information as well through the sessions that we have, through the workshops, but you can also work through this at your own pace. And for live workshops, we are actually this week going to Sunnyside at Gauteng, and then next week we will be in Pietermaritzburg and then Durban. So if you're in that area, please come and join us for the live workshops. So I do put this as a pre-requirement that you do STU 111. But as I mentioned, we actually take you through quite slowly. So please afterwards go complete it. It will just really help you cement everything down. When you're going to do the online course, you will need an internet-enabled device. All AI still works in the cloud. You need access to the forums to participate, to complete activities. You need preferably a Microsoft Google ChatGPT account, but it can be the free accounts, nothing paid. But remember, with your My Students, My Life accounts, it is actually Microsoft accounts. So we will actually see some of the benefits you get through using your My Life one versus using a free Microsoft account. So browser Edge is recommended. I know my colleague there, Harperstat, is probably turning around right now because he's a big Chrome supporter, but both of them work very, very well. But anything Chromium based is something that will be supported. So let's continue with the first activity. So I see there, Chishoka, can someone please help me join? I'm not too sure what you are seeing on your side. Just note, if you're going to sign in, let me just highlight this as well before we get started. So if you go to my Student Skills Hub and you sign in, so you click on Login. Remember to choose this option over here. So I'm actually going to put this one here. I'll put it in the chat. This is the correct option to choose to sign in with your MyLife email account. So from here, that's where you then insert your MyLife email and then also your MyUnisa password, and then you can sign in. So it will give you a text message to WhatsApp so that you can sign in. So just remember, please select the one that asks for the MyUnisa account. So that's not the top one, it's the middle one here. We're actually going to fix that very soon as we're now on a new theme that you can have. So it's more clear that you sign in with this option. And it's only when you sign in with this option that you it will track you for the co-curricular activities transcript. So it's really worth always working with your MyLife account. But to get started, so on the main page, you can click on the Getting Started page, the big button at the bottom, and then you can look through the overview. As we mentioned, the syllabus, we went through that already, the duration, the delivery methods, and what's the requirement. So the first activity on here is to chat with Luwazi. So I know some of you were on the course probably over the weekend and the things weren't working. Unfortunately, our ICT had a bit of fun in the background and then, yeah, it went down. But yesterday we managed to get everything up and running again, so we're good to go. So yeah, you can chat with Luwazi. Luwazi is always available. There's also the Ask Luwazi question. So we just want to make sure that you've got access to a good AI model. So what we mean by that, it's actually run by ChatGPT, the latest models. So that means you can actually, it's got very good reasoning to this. So in this activity, you just chat with Luwazi, tell Luwazi your name, where you're from, and one thing you're excited to learn in this course. Then you share your response, copy paste Luwazi's reply in the forum template below, respond to your peers, read at least 2 posts, reply with to them as well. Because remember, you don't want to do this just on your own. It's something that we want to do collaboratively. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put here my name. So I'm going to say Richard. I'm actually from Western Cape. So I'm going to say Cape Town. I'm excited to learn about AI agents. And we copy this. We build the greeting. So you'll see it fills it in automatically for us. So we don't need to type that much, because prompting is basically all about typing. Is it not? Because if you can do voice input, that's also great. But we just want to make it a bit easier for you. So you just on this activity, you type in your name, where you're from, what you're excited about learning, and then you say build greeting, and then you just copy this, and I'm going to paste it in here. So let's see what Luwazi tells us today. So, hello, Richard. Welcome from Cape Town. I'm thrilled to assist you with AI agents. My first step for getting started would be to begin with understanding the key concepts like generative AI and large language models. That's actually what we're going to cover next. That foundation will make the rest of the journey smoother. Happy learning. So, definitely go test this out. As I mentioned, Luwazi can do a lot more. Actually, it is one of the latest models. So here you can really experience, if you can't afford one of the paid subscriptions, what you can do with these types of models. So for this one, I can just copy this over, or I can just actually click this copy button. We're fancy now, so I copy the button there, copied successfully. So it's the one that looks like a little clipboard. And then I can go here and reply to this main post. So I'll post to forum. So we've got Pusulu from Soweto, Mpumalanga, human, but I cannot wait to see the improvements that will be done to him. This is great to hear. Okay, that Luwazi was a bit down. He was a bit sick over the weekend, but it's all feeling better now. So I'm just gonna refresh there as well to see if there is anybody that has posted a latest one. Let's see there. Oh, so there's quite a few new ones. Hello, France. Where's France from? There we go. Great to meet you. All right, France didn't say where he's from. Abdul, Cape Town? Oh, Abdul, another fellow Cape Townian. Oh, it was hot today. We were burning up in Cape Town. I don't know what went wrong. So yes, students, this is the first activity. This is basically a prompt that we created. So for you that don't know what prompting is, what prompt engineering is, it's all about how you phrase the input to the AI model, the LLM, the large language model. So please do this activity. It's just a starter one to get you started. But very importantly is the next one, is the pre-course assessment. So the pre-course assessment is something that you can do very quickly. It's not, I'm going to say it is a requirement. Now, just notice about the pre-course assessment one thing. You only get one attempt. And that's why, because we want you to be truthful, more or less. Because at the end, you're going to get a post-course assessment that asks you the exact same questions. And believe me, the journey is not that long until you get to the post-course assessment. Exactly the same questions, but it's more for you to rate what you know and what you don't know. So when you're done, you can actually compare the results and you can see all the skills you've learned over this by doing this course section. So please do the pre-course assessment. Once you've done the pre-course assessment, then it will unlock all of the other units. So this is very important that you do this one. So I'm going to post it in the chat as well. Please complete this first before you start with the course content. So I'm gonna just go here, pre-course quiz. So I see there's 8 questions. So I'm just gonna remove my screen on this side. So I'm quickly gonna go through it to see what my results would be if I just randomly select it, just to make sure all of you can do it on your side as well. So just while we're doing that, so please complete the pre-course assessment. The link is in the chat. It is part of the getting started, and it is a requirement that you need to do to unlock all of the other content, and it's really worth unlocking the content. Yeah, so I'm on question 7 already. Yeah. Finish attempt. Let's see how I did. Submit or finish. I got 25%. Okay, I should have read. But yes, so please do the pre-course assessment. This is the one that opens it up for you to the rest of the modules. So our first module that we're going to look at is generative AI for learning and productivity. So we'll look at what is generative AI and how it works, practical study uses, saving time, summarizing and organizing, benefits and limits of AI in education, responsible and ethical use. So for you that did the first masterclass, this is just a refresher. For the others that's doing this for the first time, this is also just to lay some groundwork so that you know that when you start with this, you know exactly when we start building agents where it fits in. So we'll, at the end of this, you'll be able to explain what generative AI is, apply it to support your studies, create practical prompts and quizzes, evaluate AI outputs, biases, accuracy, privacy, use AI responsibly and ethically. Very important, especially in academic context. So generative AI, GAI, it creates new content, text, images. So it's basically the big machine that creates the images for us. LLMs, basically the ones we're working currently, that's ChatGPT, Anthropic Claude, Google Gemini. It's a large language model that generates human-like text. And you can't believe that everything is created through link to text. Use cases, summaries, practice questions, translations. How many of you have used it to translate perhaps your course material into your home language for understanding? And then obviously limitations refers to hallucinations. That's still a big problem. Biases, privacy, and over-reliance. Over-reliance is when you become so dependent on it that you can't function without it. So that's why it's always, when you use these tools, use it with critical thinking, creativity, so that you actually learn from the experience and it doesn't take over your skills. So responsible use is how you would use it in your studies. I actually saw the policy that's going to be maybe adopted soon within the university, and that's where we talk about the rules, and we will give you some tips on that as well. So what is generative AI? AI is systems that generate content based off prompts. And what is prompts? Prompts is basically the way you phrase your question or the inputs. So it learns from large data sets, produces fresh output. Now, this is a very big, how can I say, misconception, especially I think with the older generations, is they always think there must be some logic behind it, something that can be defined in a formula. That's what I would usually say. It just predicts the next most likely best word to attach, or letter even. And that's not always true, because if you look at how this is created, if you look even at this brain over here that we have on the screen, that's why they call it neural networks. It's actually based on how the neurons in the brain is connected, or it was initially. It has evolved quite a lot from there. And so basically, they input a large amount of data. So they expect ChatGPT, for instance, to be a trillion parameter model currently. We always talk about billion parameter models, and they're now talking already of trillions. So it's a lot of information. And when the information enters, it depends on obviously how you phrased it, how you question it, and then it goes through a neuron path. But each one selects the next path to use randomly, or what is the most logical to use. So that's why you always get something unique out. It actually creates new art, it creates new songs. The songs we were jamming to earlier, that one is, as I mentioned, is also created by AI. So it creates you a lot of opportunities. I just saw here in the chat, hopefully David is going to help you soon, the screenshots of signing in. Remember, you don't use the top one, you must use the bottom one to sign in, the one that's got the office symbol on it. There we go. Click on the red icon. Then you'll be able to sign in with your Unisa account. So examples would be, for instance, ChatGPT. It uses text input and provides text output. DALL-E, Stable Diffusion, it takes text in, give images out. And then if you use Suno AI, it's very fun to use. You actually do that in the Masterclass 1. that you actually use text to create music, and that's very fun to do as well. Now, why does this all matter to you as a student? It's for the first time that you can have on-demand tutoring. You upload your documents, your study material, you give it the role of being your tutor, and it will actually be trying to guide you through your study material. It can create practice questions very quickly. It can summarize long readings, can help you with support writing, checking your grammar and all of that. And then obviously translations and simplification. Now, this is also one you learn in the first model, is especially translations, making it available in your home language, but also simplification. A lot of these topics, textbooks, they like the academic words and very high, how can I say, language use. One thing you can do is actually ask it to explain to you as if you were a 5-year-old. And it will give you a very good visual explanation. And then next you can ask it, wait, and now explain to me like on a high school level. And it will use, common language that we use, common words. And then you can ask it to explain it to you in academic level. So you can see you can quickly build up from a visual to a basic understanding to using the academic languages. So ChatGPT users wrote 40% faster with better quality. So it's something to take note of. I know, for instance, when I was still doing essays or things like that, it used to take me ages. Now it's a lot quicker, even though it's still your work, you bounce off the ideas a lot quicker. With an AI agent, you can actually create something a lot better than when you were just working on your own. But remember, it's always a back and forth conversation that you have. You're bouncing off ideas, you get input, you maybe don't like the input the AI is giving it, you challenge it, you go different routes, so that you are always still the one guiding the learning experience. So it can definitely, use cases will simplify complex concepts. So if you've got this big scientific word that you're struggling with, just ask it to break it down for you exactly in maybe even your own language. So you can summarize readings into quick notes. I know some of the modules, they like to give you a lot of reading to do. But even when you do research, now you have to go search for articles or abstracts that supports your study, and it takes a lot of time to read through all of them. But with AI, you can actually load it in, and it can guide you to perhaps ones that is actually specific to you, so you can focus on them. You can brainstorm ideas very quickly as well. Even if you have to do a creative essay, can help you with your study plans. Setting it up. And it can even, with some of the models, you can set up reminders. You can get motivation, encouragement. That's, I think, a big part, especially when you're studying alone, maybe sometimes late at night as well. You just need that entity beside you to give you that encouragement to continue. Now, I just want to ask you if you could just show by a raise of hands, how many of you have heard of the new one on the block? They call it OpenClaw. It also went with previous name. I think it was Molten or something. And that is pretty powerful. It actually shows you where we're going. It's actually, you install it on your computer and it does everything for you. So yeah, see quite a few hands going up. The OpenClaw looks to me, I think, the next big thing this year. The guy that got it actually got appointed by OpenAI very, very quickly. And with something that we're definitely going to test out as well from our side. So just before we start with this one, I just want to show you as well on the material. So currently, if I open up the correct one here, this is the correct one. So you can see, unfortunately, I did very bad. So don't worry if you do bad. That's why we're doing the course. We want to learn all of these things. And so I'm just going to go there. Now my second unit is open. So I can go to the unit introduction that we covered already. So you can go through the key concepts, key questions. All of that is available on here. And then we start with what is generative AI. So if we go here, generative AI is class of AI systems that generates new content, as we saw earlier, text, music, audio. How many, let's see in the chat, tell us which model you prefer to create your daily content. Is it ChatGPT? Is it Copilot? Is it Google Gemini? Is it Meta? Oh, that's on WhatsApp. Or there's so many out there. Grok. I've heard a lot of people say Grok is suddenly improving. Oh, I see a lot of Copilots on here. So you're going to love the Copilot one because we're going to do a demo later with Copilot where you do your agent. But you do need access to your Unisa account. Now, I think you're breaking my chats at the moment. Gemini for pictures? Yes, Gemini does very good pictures, very realistic pictures. That's why it's always fun to test out different ones because they all have their own type of style almost towards it. ChatGPT, DeepSeek, nice. Yeah, we're going to test out that one as well. ChatGPT, definitely. Oh, a lot coming in. No, so there's so many models these days, and I'm glad actually to see a lot of you are using quite big models. A good example would be WhatsApp Meta. I see there's one, and ChatGPT. So what's the difference between WhatsApp Meta and ChatGPT? And that is always how you're going to assess your model is how big it is. So WhatsApp Meta, good for quick questions. You know, you just want to wonder why is a burger called a burger, or why is a patty round? And you can ask Meta that type of thing. But if you want to ask serious things about your study, it's better to use a bigger model. So the Meta one might be 4 billion parameters. Sounds big, but if you take the bigger ones, DeepSeek, all of them, they're starting here 80 billion. So you 80 billion compared to 4 billion, quite a big gap in knowledge. So that's why it's always good to test out your models, see what the limits are, and jump between the one that gives you the best, how can I say, information. Let's see who of you, is there any DJs in the house? How many of you have used Suno AI or any other AI to create music for you? As I said, the song you were all jamming to before this was also made with AI. And I mean, it sounds perfect. If you want to impress somebody with a cool song, you do that very good. Yes, David, I am hungry. Chatpi, I use Suno. Yeah, Suno is great to use. So we went through this. So I just want to go through this last one as well. Use responsibly, important limits, hallucinations. Now, one thing about AI, it can generate a lot of content and it can do it very confidently, even though it's completely incorrect. Remember, in the end, it's still a little dumb computer that you have to guide along the way. Hallucinations generally also comes in when the context windows becomes too big, and I'll explain that to you a bit later as well. Now, remember as well, these AI models, they come with biases and privacy concerns. A bias because it's already got a certain viewpoint. So obviously, the programmers that make it, they want to make it safe, but through that, they also give it certain viewpoints already. So good way to go around it is to change its role, give it some context, but you also don't want to give too much context, else you overflow it and then you start getting hallucinations. And obviously, with academic integrity, use AI for learning and drafting support, not to do graded work for you. It's not supposed to just, you put in one prompt and it's magically giving you the whole essay, you just copy and paste. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. It's where you have to go back and forth with the AI. It can support you with the drafting, but in the end, it still has to really show your knowledge, your viewpoint. So in this one, there's a few that you can try out as well. So it says, explain this concept in plain language with example from South African campus life, opportunity costs. So let's copy this one. Now, I also want to show you, you'll see your other chat is still available here. If you want to start a new one, just click on the reset at the top right, the little circle, click on that, and then you can paste in and try these different prompts. Ooh, where's my prompt? Okay, copy. I'll still get the other one. Let me just copy it the hard way. We'll have to look into that one. So let's put in that one. So practice questions with answer to test my understanding of photosynthesis. Start easier, then get harder. Let's see what it gives us. I hope I don't make Luwazi too strict. Let me quickly just have a look at this one. Don't know why it gives us that error. It's not supposed to. If we
Richard, I think Teams, as well as the ad-hoc platforms under strain, I think a lot of students are active on the sites. Could be a problem.
Let me quickly show you here. Actually, this is the problem. Is we're going to use ChatGPT 5.3 latest. Let's publish that one. Publish update. There we go. So just refresh on your side. Now it should work. This is actually a good way for you to see as well. This is Luwazi's backend. This is a prompt, and that's all the knowledge. But we will get to that still a bit later on. I don't want to scare you away too early. So I'm just going to refresh this page. Let's get Luwazi back, and we paste this question again. Let's take that one. And we just pop it in. But now you could even see that you are actually using the latest AI models. There we go. There goes Luwazi. So opportunity cost means what you give up when you choose one option instead of the other. I don't want to give up anything. But yeah, so I don't know. It's probably for like a counting or something. Opportunity cost, the next best thing you did not choose. Now we all get regrets. But yes, so all of these terms, if you want to learn them very quickly, you can copy and paste it from here into the chat. And then also obviously customize it. Keep it concise and accurate. Summarize the key points of this paragraph. So I'll have to have a paragraph. Let me choose that one. I'll just replace it over here. And then we go through it. Now, what you will notice with these prompts, what do we give it? We give it instructions, very specific. We say key points. So it's almost like list a paragraph. We have, explain this concept in what context. So we give it very accurate, how can I say, instructions that it needs to follow, and that will obviously improve the output you get. So for instance, this one was where it was breaking down, explaining it into simple terms, and in this one, it just gives us a list. So just by how you define your prompt defines the output you can get. Now, obviously, the next one, generative AI in education. As we saw earlier already, you can use it, for instance, to summarize large information. You can ask it to translate it. You can ask it to explain topics in different learning levels. So let's just wait for this page to load. I think we broke AOVH as well tonight. Again. Okay, so while we wait for the site just to catch up, it is running. It's trying to run. Let's look at the local example. So let's look at Mbali's story. Is there any Mbalis tonight in the house? I hope so. You could just give a little dance move. Mbali, a second-year UNISA learner in rural Limpopo, studies mainly on Android phone and buys data bundles. So uses a free web AI Copilot to ask short questions when stuck. Like, please explain what code switching means in social linguistics and give us an African example. The AI gives a clear explanation, mixing English and Easy Zulu, saves the time and data. When an AI cites a stat or quote, Mbali double checks on Wi-Fi, when she's got access to Wi-Fi, to obviously double check it. So it's always have to double check anything that AI gives you with reliable sources. And usually that's, for instance, Google Scholar or library resources. So for instance, give me a quick quiz in the theme of things fall apart. Integrating AI makes us feel more confident and less alone, like having a study buddy on a call. Now, what you will notice as well, because she's on low data, she will always ask it to make it very short, so it doesn't use too much of a data, or not to produce any images, things like that. So always remember, it can be help, doesn't matter where you are or the amount of data you have. So as we mentioned, AI is 24/7. I know a lot of students study at night to use the free nighttime data. So definitely, this is where it can become very important to have somebody you can bounce off ideas very quickly. Uh, Faster summaries, overviews, so you put in a large document, it can help you break it down. It can give you personalized responses when it knows a little bit of information about you, your routine, what your study habits. Can be a creative brainstorming partner, can come up with fabulous ideas through it. And a lot of companies actually, when they're brainstorming, you can almost say that another team member on it would be the AI, because even though you have all these people with the knowledge and experience, you still sometimes just need a different perspective. And then obviously multilingual flexibility. So I think one of these days we're actually just all going to talk to each other in our own language. And for you, it will be translated into your home language through a Google or something very, very quickly. So it's interesting where the technology is going. Many are asking, actually, should they still be learning a second language because of that? So as we mentioned, limitations of AI is definitely where we get to hallucinations, wrong answers, fake citations. That's why you always have to cross-check. Predicts patterns, not true understanding. Predicts pattern to so yeah, don't take this that it is actually a human. It can't reason as a human. It still goes through its patterns. Bias and training data, it's Western focus and Eastern focus. Africa is doing a big part now, putting out data. They're doing fabulous work in Kenya and all over the show, actually using AI to translate documents, capture documents online so that they're also part of future training. Remember, it doesn't have emotional intelligence. It just goes on what previous people or information has said. So please, yeah, don't fall in love with it. It might break your heart one day. Data privacy risk. Remember, everything that you put in, especially with a free account, is being used for future training. So if you work in government and you put your secret documents through there, it's going to be open one day to everybody who will wonder, why is it now recommending a squirrel to solve the world's problem? And it would most likely came from a private top secret document. You never know. Over-reliance weakens learning. And a good example would be a few months ago now, OpenAI went off for most of the day, and a lot of coders around the world suddenly had the feeling to go drink coffee because they can't produce anymore without the help of AI. So definitely don't become over-reliant on it. So data savvy, when you want to work, ask it for short and concise answers. Some of the AIs like to ramble on forever, so just always prompt it in your initial prompt as well. Use Wi-Fi, for more the heavier tasks. Prefer text over media. A lot of times now they would want to generate images and things for you that can take quite a bit of data. And definitely use Notes app to save, what it generates so you can use it later. And then use local languages for clarity, then English for recap. It works wonders when you can explain a story in your context. And then share multilingual notes in study groups. That's how we can all learn together, especially those that perhaps don't know how to do it. So with the generative AI in I can say education, there's also quite a few topics that you can go through, such as simplifying complex concepts. So what you do here as well, you just copy it. Oh, well, my copy is not working today, but I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to obviously refresh this again. So I want a new chat, and I can just paste in it. So for instance, explain the main idea of Ubuntu FX in simple English as if I'm new to it. So remember, break it down, give it what level it must explain to you. Give a short example from South African student life. Let's put it there. There we go. So the way you prompt, as we mentioned, there's quite a few things. How it can help you simplify complex concepts, summarize reading. So you can actually copy, if you've got access to a big book, just paste it in here and we'll summarize it for you. Can translate it into different languages, generate practical questions for you to work through, brainstorming ideas for what to research, what to write about. It can be your writing assistance. With caution, you don't want it to write everything, so it can proofread, rephrase, give feedback. And I think always that's where you want the role as well. So when you start off working, it will take the role of a tutor. It's assisting you. And then once you're done with your assignment, what must the role be? The actual marker, your lecturer. So then it can criticize your work. So the one is to help you along the way. You let the other one criticize it, and then you can fix that up, and you know you've got a good product at the end. So yes, just the integrity reminder, use AI to improve your writing, not to produce assignments for submissions. Academics, they pull their hair out when they see AI work, and they've seen so much ChatGPTs already that they can spot the little tones that it uses that shows which type of model it is. Time management, scheduling. Definitely, if you're working, you've got kids, you've got everything just going around your life, help it to balance down, create a schedule for you. And as we mentioned, personal motivation and support. Use that. So here's the example as well. You can use this, make it your own context, and see how AI can assist you. So as we mentioned, always cross-checked. And also know that your data is going to be used if it's a free model. If you're using the Copilot with your MyLife email address, it's within a, how can I say, enterprise license. So nothing is used. So that's one way we're keeping you safe. And then obviously always to keep academic integrity in mind. Okay, so I'm just gonna, the site is loading very slow, so I'm gonna go with the presentation a bit quicker. Now, there we go. So we did look at staying data savvy. So there's a few ways, ask you to reply with text. And there's, please test it out within your, how can I say, within the AI that's provided for you. So we actually made it very easy. You can notice here, you haven't even used ChatGPT yet, but you can always use the same things, open up Copilot, on the side, and you can do exactly the same, but you can use Wazi as well. Then we've also got this reflections. Where does generative AI fit into your study routine? So a nice thing about these reflections, please do them. It will help you, and it's only for your eyes. So everything is saved on your computer. Nothing is uploaded. So just make use of this at each model, because some of the, how can I say, concepts might be too much, or maybe you just want to see how can this actually work for you. And this is where it can actually guide you a little bit on what is your concerns, where can it help you, what are the opportunities, what are the risks associated with it. Then we've also got our activity, try a simple AI task. Now remember, I always recommend do it on multiple agents or infrastructures. Don't just use Luwazi, use Microsoft Copilot, ChatGPT, Google Gemini. so that you can see actually what the difference is. And over time, you'll actually find the one that will work for you the best. So definitely make this your own. Make it something that you're studying. Run the prompt, ask it, evaluate the actual output it gives you. You are studying it, so you are the knowledge one on that case. So from that, discuss where are the gaps, where can it still improve. That brings us then to study unit 2. So this is really where we're starting with the agents side of things. So this is where you start thinking of the persona for your AI agent. And you'll specify roles, goals, tone, and behavior, draft and find effective persona templates. So that we will have a look at in this section. So why do we need a persona? I think this is where I'm going to show you a little demo of how these things actually work. So let me just get it up on my screen here. So this is also a platform for building AI agents. So if I look at this platform over here, how do we usually start? We start off with asking a question. So I'm going to plus a trigger here. So that will be a chat. So we usually type in our question to the AI. So we've got now our text. That's usually the box that you see here where you're going to ask it questions. Now we're going to add an AI agent to it. But the AI agent is just, how can I say, the prompt generator, you can almost say. And what the AI agent also does, it makes available to the actual agent or the chat model what is available, like in tools and all of that type of thing. So this is just the middle man putting it all together for us. Then we've actually got the agents. So I'm going to add here, I'm going to use, let's do OpenAI. So I'm going to do OpenAI. I was just going to keep it on 4.1 mini. That's fine for us. And then I can start chatting with my agent already. So this is ChatGPT, not the one in your browser. This is the pure engine running at the backend. So I'm just going to tell it here, hello, my name is Richard. What is yours? Question. And we can see here it will generate output for us. Hello, Richard, I'm ChatGPT, your AI assistant. How can I help you today? It's very boring. So then I ask it now, what is my name again? And from that, let's see what we get. I'm not sure what your name is. Could you please tell me? I mean, that's for a smart model, it's very, very dumb if it doesn't even remember my name from literally the previous prompt. But that's what I want you to take away from it. Each time you send a message here to the AI agent, it doesn't have memory. It doesn't know your context, the documents you uploaded, nothing. Everything must be fed into it every single time. So now I can add some memory to it, for instance. So now I can tell it simple memory. We're not going to be too fancy. So now I've added some memory. So this just stores these messages that we have and then feed them all back into the main agent so that when it runs, it knows what the previous conversation was. So I'm going to say, hello, hello, my name is David. And we say, I love candy too much. I see David ran away. Too much. And then we go here and we say, now. You'll see it goes to the agent and it actually hits the memory twice. So it actually saved the initial one, save the response, and then give the output to us. Now I can say, what is my name? Oh, Your name is David. I don't even need to spell it correctly. And you see again, it hits this memory twice. It collects it before you actually send the prompt and then again, because this model does not remember anything. Now, the model is, as you can see, very boring text that we get. So the next thing that we can do is now give it a personality. So if I go here, and this is what they call the system prompt, system message. So I'm actually going to open up, you saw it earlier as well, this one that I have of Lwazi. I can copy that, and I'm just going to put it in here as its personality. And then I'm going to go back to this one, save it. I'll have to refresh this. And then I can ask it, what is your name and purpose? Let's go there. Let's see what it does. See, it goes to the memory, it goes to the model, but now we added that system prompt as well. And then it goes, hello, David, my name is Lwazi. I'm your friendly AI tutor. A lot friendlier than the previous one we had. So this is what we talk. When we talk, giving it a persona, it's all the rules and guidelines that we put in here. It's the context that it needs to give you an effective answer. So remember, that can be the persona of a tutor, a lecturer, a chef. It can be personal trainer. Anything basically can be its persona that we create over time. And then, as you see, definitely need memory so you can remember over time. And then we can also add tools, for instance, a calculator, in case we perhaps wanted to be able to be very good at mathematics or other things. But very importantly, you can also add in more context, documents that it needs to know. So that can be, for instance, your study guides. If you look at, for instance, this example that I showed about Lwazi, there's its prompt, there's all its knowledge, and then we add all of these tools as well. So that's basically what an agent is. It's very focused. It's not general chat back and forth. It's got a task that it needs to do. It's got a role. It's got a personality. It's got limitations. You set all of that. So personas are role-based instructions tailored to be consistent and engaging. So this is stuff, I always see on the website as well. Students will sign up for a platform that's very good at essay writing, for instance. And all that is actually the system prompt. All of them use the same AI platforms in the back end. There's only a few ones that are really big, and that's Meta, obviously OpenAI, Anthropic, and then Google as well. So there's not many models that's made available. Obviously, you get DeepSeeks as well, but the rest are actually just implementations on top of current ones. So this really gives us the consistency that we need, the relevance, control, and engagement for this agent. So remember, prompt is instructions plus context plus examples and roles. Now, one thing I just want to highlight with context, especially with the demo we just saw. Now, as you saw, every time you ask a question, it will always, how can I say it? It has to go through the memory and give all that memory back. So if you uploaded a book, every time you prompted it, uploads that book with all the questions you asked. And that's where we talk about the context window. So once the AI's context window is full, that means you're giving it so much data at one time that it can't handle all of it. It actually cuts out a lot of information. That's when it starts hallucinating, because it actually doesn't know what you're talking about anymore. It doesn't remember the initial things you were talking about. That's why it's always good to keep it as short as possible. Don't have conversations that goes too long. Rather ask it to summarize and start with a different one, because once that context window gets full, you're getting very bad results. So obviously, what we want to do is we refine it. It's not going to be a one-shot. Yeah, we're going to give you an example, but you're going to refine it on your side. And then also, Key principles, you want to be very specific, provide context, not too much, and assign a role to it. And then obviously you just iterate it until it works perfectly for you. So yeah, in this unit, you focus all about your persona. What is a reusable persona? How to develop one? What is the things to look out for? Especially when you think of the roles and the personality you add to it. So you remember key concepts, persona prompts, a system prompt is reusable instructions. It's not something you have to type out every time. I don't know if you go and visit ChatGPT and you have to first explain to it, I'm a first year UNISA student, please assist me with this. There's a lot of things that you have to rewrite over and over, and take the role of a tutor or a mathematician and help me with this. You do it once and it's reusable. Roles, you give it clear roles and goals to who it is and why it exists. You give it a tone styling, for instance, plain essay English. Maybe you want to be mobile first, very short and text-based. Behavior rules, do's and don't. Check for understanding, along the way. Elements of a good persona is role identity, who the AI is. So you can think of a name already for your AI assistant. Goal, purpose, why does it exist? Is it going to help you with your studies? Is it going to help you with a specific module? Is it going to, so really think of what is it problem that it's going to solve? Or is it just the one that must, when you upload a picture from your fridge of all your food, it must give you a good recipe that's like a shichinyama or something. Specify behaviors, what to do, avoid. Especially what to avoid, going too far. Don't give the final result. Give me inputs how to get to the final result. Context, your ODL student, maybe you don't have a lot of data. Give it that context within that. Multilingual notes, maybe you want it to be first explained in your home language and then in English. Ethics, how should it cite sources? What sources should be trusted? So yes, as we mentioned, template design. So think of a name, Luwazi, Thandi, outline what you need, task behaviors, choose a tone. Do you want it to be friendly? Or are you one of those that needs an angry mother to yell at you before you remember the things? Incorporate user context. Remember, context can also be where you're from, your area, where you grew up, all that type of thing, but keep it still very broad, not very too specific. Remember, these data are still fed into a big machine. Combining to one persona prompt, and then test and refine via feedback loops. So we will have a look at how to do that. So example personas, Lwazi, friendly study companion, Naledi, career mentor perhaps, motivational essay examples, Thandi, writing coach, clarity and structure, not full answers, and then study buddy, professor, advisor, coding tutor. Don't know, let's see if there's any coders in the house today. Are there any coders? I heard today, actually this morning in the university, they said all roles will need coding. So definitely, if you don't know coding, use AI to start learning coding, just the basics, because it will apparently help you with any field. So something that we also perhaps going to focus on in the future is coding. So definitely, make it your coding tutor. You can do magical things, or build websites, anything with AI very quickly. So just persona, career mentor, identity, 10 years experience, mentor role. You give it really, you think of the person as a real person. Best is if you've got a good teacher that you had at school, give them that personality. You know, you list perhaps localization, what it can use, what are your interests, interactivity, how gentle should it answer, in what tone should it be. So definitely when you think of your personas, think of all of these type of aspects. So if we go to the Of course, I do see we're running a bit short of time, so I do just want to get you to the last one. So there is some valuable activities on here that will really help you understand personas, what the personas can assist you with, how to build your own persona. Definitely worth you going through that unit. But what I want you to get to is actually see what are you going to create. So I'm going to skip over the ethical considerations, and some of the other information that's also available in here, because we only have 20 minutes time left, and I really want you to get to the last stage. So the last one is writing Loise's system prompt. So this is an example. By this time, you will actually be able to write your own one. But we are going to be using this one over here as an example. So I want you to open a new tab as well. And I want you to go to portal.office.com. I'll paste it in the link chat as well. So remember, your MyLife account is a Microsoft account. So that's why you got access to all of this. Oh, my name happened to be Lwazi. I thought it was tailored for me. Yes, Lwazi, you're the one that helps all our students. So once you're logged in, I want you to get to this page. Let me just paste that link again here in the chat. Okay. I hope it's gonna. No, it's not gonna work that way. Let's do this portal. There we go. So remember, when you have to sign in, you sign in with your MyLife email address, so that and your MyUnisa password. Now, just to give you an example, this is the landing page these days for the portal is always on Copilot, because they are really pushing the Copilot capabilities, Microsoft. Now, one thing I want you to notice here on the left, you can do the normal chat. That's what we did last year. We played around with the general ones, created our own prompts. We added, uploaded documents. That's all covered in Masterclass 1 if you want to go have a look at it. And, to summarize the information. But now we want to create our own agents. So a quick way is to go here to agents. You'll see there on the left navigation. If it's not showing, just open it up. And we go to agents and we click on plus, a new agent. I'm actually going to copy this link as well if you want to go there. Please ask Lwazi to be patient. She's in the chat. You can ask. So we're going to make our agent. I'm going to say Lwazi tutor. She's going to be our tutor. So we can give it a description as well. My tutor for Math 1501. Let's say it's mathematics. Mathematics first year. Okay, so I'm going to just give it a description there. So when I come back to it, I know exactly what this agent is supposed to do. And now it wants instructions. Now, what is this instructions that we want to add on here? This is actually the instructions that we've been talking about, the persona. Ooh, let me just go back to this one over here. So on this one, writing Lwazi's persona, I'll paste the link in there as well. When is on the booking system, I'll ask David to just share with you as well. It is there that we have the in-person ones. It's quite a lot of fun. We're going to be in Sunnyside this week, and next week, Pietermaritzburg, and then we're going to go to Durban, but we will let you know as well if we come to your nearest campus. So when I create my personal assistant here, I'm going to say my name is Richard Wright. I'm going to say I am still 36. Location, I'm going to say Cape Town, South Africa. I'm going to say, yeah, even though it's English now, I'm going to say Afrikaans. I'm going to say course. We did this one that we had here. So I'm just going to type in MAT 1501 to get this one started. The course. Oh, no, that's the course. Let me put the module in there. So what course does mathematics? Let's say computer science. So you can really, obviously, you're not going to use what I'm doing. You're going to make it your own. It's what you are studying. So put in your name, age, location, not your street address. Remember, you still want to keep some distance so that when they do get the AI capabilities, they don't come hunt you down. So just general information, and then your course and your module. Now, if we look at this prompt, so I'm going to say personalized prompt here. It will fill in all the information on this one over here. So let's have a look at the sections. You are Lwazi, a friendly AI companion for University of South Africa learner. The purpose is to help the learner learn and stay motivated. So already we give it an introduction. What is its task? It's why does it exist? So then we go deeper into its role and identity. You are a virtual tutor, like a knowledgeable peer or mentor. You understand the learner is studying through open distance learning in South Africa. We give it a context and what it is, where you are as well. Tone and style, use a supportive and positive tone. Obviously, we want somebody that's going to be polite with us when we study, not generally like our teachers at school that were chasing us and yelling at us. So this is our study buddy. Language, you can obviously you want to say South African English because I always go to American English. I don't know why. Even if they can pick up already these systems that you are in South Africa, but it still gives you American English. So that's why you tell it exactly what language it should be using. If the learner uses a preferred another language of greeting, you can actually use all our South African languages, so even any other language really. Teaching approach, we've got there a little bit of how should it explain concepts to you, contextualize the information to South Africa to help your understanding. All of that is built into this section. And then we've got the academic integrity, boundaries, definitely to help you out so you don't overstep the line. Also that it doesn't go too far, that should help you study, not replace your study. And then obviously it's honesty about knowledge. If it doesn't, it's unsure about the information, just admit it. And remember, AI agents always want to please you. They really like little puppy. And so if they don't know something, they'll just make it up and then eat it up later. So yeah, so definitely give it that boundaries. Tell it it's okay to say, I don't know. And then this is where we now personalize it from the top one, populated over here. And then we give it some additional context. So this one you can really go edit. What is your study routines? When do you prefer to study? How often do you want to study? All of that is in this area over here. So as I mentioned, this one is now for a course, but you also specify the module. So you can really refine it to really be a good agent on your side. Now, I'm going to copy the full prompt here. I'm going to go to Copilot. So I'm going to put this in the instructions. There we go. And then I can obviously add some additional knowledge from a website. What sources that are available to use, create documents, charts, definitely make me some beautiful presentations and create me some images. Obviously, if you want to constrain your data a bit or save data, you'll rather turn that off. And then you can even put some suggested prompts, what should it ask you when you start? Do you want to study today, for instance? Say, study time. Say, it's time to study. So there we go. And now we've created our own little agents. All I need to do is click on create. And there it goes spinning off. creating my little agent. Now, what happens if you don't have access to this agent capabilities? It's still very easy. All you do is go to a new Word document, and we just paste everything in there. So there's my system prompt in a Word document. So I'm even going to save this file, save as. Let's go and say Lowazi system prompt. I'm going to browse, going to save it to my computer so I've got quick access to it. Save. And then I'm going to go and I'm actually going to open up in another window. Well, this one. Okay, we can go to our agent. This one is done. So I'm going to show you in this window. If you're using a free one, so let's do Google Gemini. Yeah, here we go. Google Gemini. So I don't have the paid one for this, so I can't build agents and all the fun stuff. But what I can do is I can add documents. So I upload that document we just created. Where is it? Downloads. And I see Lowazi system prompt open. And I just say to it, take the role of Lowazi. And then it will read that document. It will understand that, oh, we're talking now about a system prompt. Now it's defining its own persona, refining the profile, crafting initial interactions. There it goes, all on its own. So there it goes on my own little agent created just like that using a free account. But if you got now the Copilot, we've got now our Lowazi tutor on here as well. And then we can ask it, there's my prompt. It's study time. Yay. Just like that. Lekker, Richard. Let's get into study notes. Afrikaans there coming lekker through. So definitely make it your own language. It's somebody that will have the context. You then add your documents on here, your study notes that you want to work on today, your assignment, you work through it together and as your personal AI agent. So this is what this course is all about. It's getting to this point where you create your own agent. It really takes it to the next level where you don't just get your generic response that everybody can pick up. This is written by AI, the generic ChatGPT, generic Gemini, Meta. It's actually creating something that's linked to you, to your context. And with that, I'm just going to last off. When you work with this material, please work through all the sections. You'll also notice, as we mentioned, there's a post-course assessment. This is the exact same questions as the first one. And you're going to see, for instance, I have to do it now. I won't get 25% anymore. Hopefully I'll get 30%. I'm a slow learner. But that's what this is about, is to see all the knowledge you've gained. Then there's also a final assessment. This one you can do multiple times, so go practice it. Once you get, you certified, you passed, if you get above 60%, then you can actually now go to my modules. So I'm going to go to my UNISA, actually log into my admin. You type in your student number as you do with your regular admin tasks. And then for some reason, it always wants me to do twice. Let's do log into my admin. There we go. See, resilient. Didn't work there. So I just open the next one and it goes quick for some reason. And there we go, student admin. And you'll see there's a co-curricular activity record. So if you've completed this course, this is something that will be auto-generated. If you print this, it will actually have the UNISA stamp. You apparently have to do this twice as well, and then it will have the stamp and the signature. So it's something that you can add to your CV already. And trust me, everybody currently wants this on your CV. So go do this, get the transcript. If you need to apply for work, it's something you can use already to showcase what you're doing or your capabilities. So with that, everybody, thank you very much for joining. I hope to see you in the next one. As mentioned, we're going to have a few face-to-face ones now over the next couple of weeks. So you can go to My Student Skills Hub and you can go to co-curricular activities and all of them are listed on here. What we generally also do, if we come to your area, we will send you an email on your My Life email. So always have a look for ADOVH, SDR, so if we can meet you in person, we bring the robots and the VRs and everything. We have a lot of fun, and you learn quite a lot about digital skills. And then, yes, towards the end of this month, we will going to have a metaverse experience again. If you're not familiar with that, just have a look at the courses. There's a metaverse one. I'll ask David to post a chat. So if you complete the course, very quick and easy, you can actually come join us in the metaverse, where we can have also quite a lot of fun and you can learn quite a lot of skills there as well. So still a lot coming up. Hopefully we'll see you throughout the year. Thank you, everyone, and have a good evening.